Thanks for staying with us. We're going down south to Rivers State, and the High Chief, Dr. Felix Ogbebor, a prominent elder statesman from the Niger Delta region, has expressed concern over the ongoing feud between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Nyesom Wike, and former Rivers State Governor Dr. Peter Odili, saying it is detrimental to the development of the state. Speaking at the Siokpo Kingdom in Rivers State, Ogbebor said or urged both Wike and Odili to resolve their differences for the sake of peace and progress in the region. He emphasized that the media's portrayal of the conflict has exacerbated the situation and calls for restraint to allow for calm and unity in the state. He urged the media to focus on more constructive coverage as he believes that the conflict between Wike and Odili, two figures with a long history of collaboration, should not overshadow the need for unity and development in Rivers State. He also highlighted that the introduction of the Forest Guard Force would help reduce attacks on farmers, thereby ensuring food security in the country. Well, to discuss this with us is Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo, Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning and welcome to the program, and Happy New Year to you, Wisdom.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah. Yes. It's going to be interesting. So, Happy New Year.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
First of all, I'm starting with what concerns me. It is now the media's problem. We are being blamed for exacerbating the problem between Wike and Odili. Wike said what he said. Wike stands by his words. Wike has told everybody that he doesn't run away from trouble. In fact, he can cause the trouble and cause people to fall and all that. I don't know how the media is exacerbating this. But I'd like you to just comment on what is really going on in Rivers State, because everything is connected to the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike. And we don't know how good or how bad that is for a state like Rivers that is very critical to the development of Nigeria as a whole.
I mean, it's unfortunate for many of us who are very young. We grew up to see people like Odili as governor of the state, and of course he was deputy governor at some time. You know, and to be very frank, I think I don't have that right to even comment on this issue between Odili and Wike. For us watching on the side, we are heartbroken that it had to come to this between our leaders. But as a politician, you ought to know that when you fire a shot, the shot will definitely come back. And when I say fire a shot, it means when you make certain comments, those same people will also reply back to you. I think Wike is just replying back to Odili the same way made certain comments. And they are very respected. We will call him grandfather in Rivers State. Like I said, it's so unfortunate, but we hope that this issue is going to end. We don't want to see our leaders exchanging words like this. What we had expected, many of us, at the beginning of the issues between Wike and the governor, Sam Fubara, is that someone like our respected father, former Governor Peter Odili, would have taken, a position of a father to settle his two sons. Very sincerely, that's what many of us, so but to our greatest surprise, our grandfather picked a side. And so many of us in the PDP, of course, who are very informed on the issues, were very heartbroken. Someone like me, I was very indeed heartbroken. You see the way that former President Goodluck Jonathan has taken his side of neutrality and taken the side of a statesman and a father is what we expected. And even when he visited the state on the invitation of the governor, Sam Fubara, to commission a project, he spoke very neutrally on the issues and never picked a side, so that's what we expected. But it's really unfortunate that I don't see myself having that right to really comment on this issue between Wike and former Governor Odili. It's an issue I think I will allow Wike to continue to speak for himself on this matter. But you know who Wike is, and which many of us are not surprised, is that you don't speak on certain things. And maybe Wike's annoyance is, after he left office, like he has explained in the luncheon he recently had, he said, look, they all deserted you, but I brought them together. We came to you, and we made sure that we cemented issues that we had. And I went on, of course, to make sure you took your rightful place in the state, as our father as you are. And in the lunch on they had this January organized by Wike. You saw they played over 20 minutes video, where Odili had, praised Wike in many ways. Look, like I say in Rivers State, our politicians need to understand that this kind of politics where we are here today, we are here tomorrow, we need to stop it. Indeed, we just need to stop it. And this is an example, that should go to the young people. Not because you have issue with somebody today, you forget that yesterday you were giving praises and all of that of the person. Let's be consistent in what we're doing. So it's a big issue, it's a fundamental issue in Rivers politics. And I'm speaking now on this as not a member of the PDP or even, I'm just speaking as the Rivers person. The politics for us appears, in a certain way for us as young people. There's no consistency. You talk today, you talk tomorrow. It's not what we want to really see. Over 20 minutes video was played at that launch on, where the former governor, Peter Odili, was reaping praises on Wike. In fact, they even called Wike the best governor Rivers had ever had. Maybe he forgot he was also a governor. So when you don't assume that position of a father between your two sons to settle whatever the issues are, then some things you're saying now may be the origin of that. When you went to see the president, when the president called them to settle the issues, it was sent from Governor Peter that I read, those 8 points agreement, to the hearing of everybody, and the governor signed. If there are issues with that agreement, I think the right thing to do was even for the same former Governor Peter to go back to the president to say, look, Mr. President, this is where we're having issues now with this agreement. There needs to be a political alignment and solution to some of these issues. I will tell you why the issues have lingered till now. Many people who are fueling this issue, especially on the side of the governor, Fubara, they know that this crisis, as long as it continues, we will give them an edge to project their interest politically in the states. They are not doing this because they love River State so much. That's not true. They are doing this because it will advance their political interests in the states. And if there is peace between Wike and Fubara, their political interests will not will not make any advancements or will not be projected in a way. And it's what we just see playing out. That's why they continue to push the issue. So it's very unfortunate. We hope that we come to a point where these issues, especially between Odili and Wike, will end. We are praying God, our respected grandfather, Peter Odili does not deserve, some of these things we are hearing publicly. And we hope that the political attention will rise down. I think those are my thoughts on this.
All right. So what does this mean for the people of River State? Because, of course, if, you know how they say, if two elephants fight, the grass suffers. We've seen a little bit of rancor between Nyesom Wike and Fubara, who is the current governor. Now, obviously, there's another issue between Nyesom Wike and the former governor, Peter Odili. So, with things like this happening time and time again, do you think there could be some form of distraction to what the main cause is, which is ensuring that, the people of River State are well catered for, they have good development going on there, everything that is necessary for their welfare, they have that. So, what does this just mean for them right now when there's a little bit of rancor here and there flying around all around the place?
Definitely, when two elephants are fighting, the ground will suffer. In this situation, River State and Rivers people should have achieved much more in this government than what we are seeing today. But these issues are sort of, yes, it's a distraction, but who created the distraction in the first place? Why did we get here in the first place? In River State history, Saint Fubara, he became governor in one of the, the exceptional ways that we assumed that the government was going to go in a very peaceful manner. It's so unfortunate to see where we are now. But whatever the government seems to be projecting as, success or what they have achieved, my thinking is, or our view at the time when we supported him to be governor, was that he would have achieved even much more than he's achieving now. If all of these issues never came up in the first place. Our arguments, many of us, of course, in PDP today, our thoughts are, even though you had an issue, whatever it is, with your benefactor, Wike, the former governor, you should have found a better way, of course, to handle these issues. But we don't know what may have transpired that, now played into the hands of these crisis people who have taken it to another level and continue to ensure that the crisis continue, so that they can advance their own political interests here and there. But governance in the states, we should have achieved much more than what we're achieving today. Look at what we are doing, arguing everywhere with our allocation and budgets and all of that. We should have achieved much more. Like my own local government has not even achieved, or seen any progress so far because of these issues, and many other local governments in Rivers State. So we should have achieved much more. We presented 800 billion budget 2024. We presented 1 trillion budget, this 2025. And look at the arguments and the unconstitutional means we are handling the budget, even against the court judgment and court orders and even the constitution itself. It's so unfortunate. It's really so unfortunate.
But wisdom,
distractions.
My issue with the Rivers people, Port Harcourt people, Rivers generally, is what is the hold that Wike has on Rivers people? Because it seems as if he's the man that everybody fears. At this time, Fubara is the chief security officer. He is the governor of the state, and everybody's talking about treating Wike with kid gloves, and I don't understand why. We have seen a clear picture of what seems government would have been like if he listened to Wike, which would have brought the peace that you are talking about. 27 local government representatives in the state assembly were in his pocket. The executives that were elected to be, or were appointed to become commissioners and all that, a lot of them who resigned were in his pocket. And that gives us a picture of what is being said, that he wanted to rule by proxy. And every contract had to come from him, and so many other things that have been said. So why should we have such a powerful godfather in Rivers State, and nobody seems to open his mouth to say something because he always has a hold on him? Odili was a governor when Wike was not a governor. No matter what he was, maybe he was in the trenches fighting for him and all that, but Odili was a governor when Wike was not. And then he came out and did a few things and, brought peace or reconciliation in the between whoever was warring with whoever. And now Odili is being shamed, and the Rivers people are not saying anything. In fact, I saw a delegation that went and said that they were begging Wike for what Peter Odili had said and all. So I am thinking Rivers people are treating Wike with kid gloves because he should not meddle in the affairs of Rivers State because he's no longer the governor. But I'm wondering why he is so powerful on the people of Rivers.
I will not comment on the politics of anybody who went to apologize or whatever they went to do, but I will just tell you this. Look, whether some people like it or not, there are many people who see Wike as a leader. As governor of the state, he did his very best in the state as governor. He didn't achieve everything. But look, Wike is not calling himself leader when there's nobody behind him. There are people who, of course, see him as a leader. But that's what you are seeing as fear. They are afraid of him. They are doing this. They are doing that. I don't think that's the point. It's just that this is politics. And in politics, one person must indeed lead. One person must lead. At some point, even the current governor called Wike his Oga. So what are we saying? So the point here is not whether he's afraid of anybody or he has a hold of anybody. Today, if Rivers people decide that they no longer see Wike as a leader, they ought to follow, they will follow him. There's a reason why they follow Wike. I think it's what we are not really speaking into. Why do people follow Wike? Why are these people?
That is what I'm asking. Because if they are following someone who is not a governor,
they see him as a leader.
Why?
Shouldn't they be seeing their current governor as the leader? Not, an ex-governor who is now the minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Shouldn't Wike be focusing
when he came, the past governor was Amechi, and he talked down on Amechi. He made Amechi almost politically irrelevant because he said he wasn't going to be answerable to any godfather. Now he wants to be the godfather that speaks for everybody, and then 27 local governments are missing representation because of that, and Rivers people are quiet, and they're calling him a leader. Will he be a leader forever? They are suffering because of this.
Let's get the facts right. The issues that transpired between Amechi and Wike are completely different from what we are seeing playing out. Secondly, Wike at any point in time has never claimed to be anybody's godfather. He has never said that. However, as I said,
that's debatable.
As a leader, people see him as one and they follow him. You get what I'm saying? So let us lay the issues right. On the issue of the 27 lawmakers, look, we are in a country where there is rule of law. If you say 27 lawmakers have lost their seats, allow the court to decide that fact. As governor, you have no right to conclude that 27 members have lost their seats. You don't have the constitutional powers to do so. So it is not Wike that is making 27 members 27 constituencies lose representation. It is the present governor. Let's be clear on that.
No, how would he behave? I'm just trying to be clear. I'm trying to be clear. How would he behave? Yes. Because these two they have two assemblies now. The ones that didn't leave and the ones that left. So he will be presenting the budget, for instance, to this one, which the courts at this moment have said are the rightful people, or he has every right to present to them. The three people, and then the 27 that are also constituting another assembly, two assemblies. So he will be presenting. We now have a Senate and a House of Reps in Yoruba State. Is that what is happening? That is my problem. So why can't this issue be resolved? These people.
Here's the issue.
Yeah.
Here's the issue. The only way these problems will be resolved is we need to go back to the rule of law. You have said the court has said 3 people are okay to man an assembly. But if you go to section 96 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it is clear on what number should form a quorum of the House of Assembly before it can conduct business of any kind. The Constitution is clear. So, I mean, the courts, they left the issue that was already before the Supreme Court, and some people ran again, to the State High Court in Rivers State to get some purported judgment or order or whatever it is. But you see, this is how we cause the confusion. We have cases before the appeal and Supreme Court on this same issue, but somebody has run, to the State High Court to get this order now that we are seeing everywhere on TV. But if you go to section 96, it is clear on the quorum a House of Assembly should have, before it can form any business or conduct any business.
The quorum is for authentic lawmakers. The question now is not the quorum. The quorum is for authentic lawmakers. If the people who left, that same constitution said, you leave, you are no longer.
Let me hold you there. No, let me hold you there. Let me hold you there, please. Let me hold you there. The quorum, as section 96 said, it said the quorum of House of Assembly shall be 1/3 of all of the members. All of the members. And if you go on to section 2 of that 96, it went on to tell you what constitutes all the members of the assembly. So you cannot say that it's authentic members. That's not what the Constitution said.
So how are they? If the Constitution says if you leave your party and go to another one, you lose your seat, and then you are now calling that person part of the assembly, that's where I get the confusion. So let them iron out one thing, because if they don't iron out who is...
Let's go to section 109 that is causing the drama. Section 109, if you go to subsection 2, it was clear what that section said. It said, the Speaker of the House shall give effect to subsection 1 that said if you leave your party or whatever, you will leave your seat, and that condition he gave them. So we're asking now, if 27 members have lost their seats, which speaker declared their seat vacant? Because by the Constitution, a Speaker of the House is a business of the House. Just like in the National Assembly, some Labour Party members have left Labour Party and they have moved to APC. until Akpabio declares their seat vacant, they remain members of the assembly. If you don't like it, you can't wait for Akpabio to declare. You go to court. It's only the court that can declare seat vacant. So you don't act on your own. Section 109, subsection 2 is clear. It said the Speaker of the House of Assembly shall give effect to subsection 1 of this section. So, however, that the Speaker or the members shall first present evidence satisfactory to the House that any of the provisions of the subsection has become applicable in respect of that member. So I want to ask now, because their court judgments are clearly said that these members remain members of the House, but the governor has refused to deal with them. So who are we? No, so this is a clear, in plain. I don't know why we are all mixing this up. So those 27 lawmakers, they remain lawmakers until a court of competent jurisdiction declare their seat vacant. Because, of course, the Constitution did not envisage a time where the Speaker himself will also defect. So the law is clear, but the governor, there's no way in this Constitution that says the governor can declare vacant. Refuse to work.
Well, wisdom.
We need to be clear on these steps.
Wisdom.
We need to be clear. This is the Constitution.
Wisdom.
God is making it up.
Wisdom, thank you for the wisdom this morning. But this is where we have to draw the curtain. That's a matter for another day, because we need clarity in our Constitution what happens where. Because if the Speaker dies, for instance, he won't be there to declare his own seat vacant. So we'll use common sense.
The Constitution says automatically.
Okay, wisdom. I'm just saying. But we'd like to thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
We'll open this can of worms another time. But we are concerned for the Rivers people, and we're hoping that they will be on a better receiving end than what they are having right now. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, Wisdom.
Thank you so much, guys. Always. Yeah.
We've been talking with Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo, public affairs analyst. We were looking at the issues of Rivers. That is a play that has continued to unfold. We have not. We've gone through different chapters, different scenes. The act and the scene that we are now, we don't even know where we are, but this is how it is.
Yeah, this is where we have to wrap it up on the show. Thank you so much for having the breakfast with us. My name is Rume Paulson.
And I am Nyamgul Agaji.
Have a wonderful day. Good morning.